Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Wednesday class. Well, we're a little bit excited. Basti and I. Basti's in the chat, by the way. He's
Good
on.
morning.
Say hello. Yeah, he's in North Norfolk. Hasn't got a video link, but he's there for us on the chat. So yeah, really excited this week because you may remember when we put together this program that we were going to have a Eat Well for the Season. And the lovely Kat Westwood, who's one of our team, has actually produced a short video of how to cook for the season. She's going to teach us how to make miso soup. She's put a lot of effort into the video and I can't wait to see it. So around 1:45, we're going to go over to the video of Kat Eat Well for the Season. Okay, and we've got point of the week. It's bladder one. I'll tell you all about that later on. And it's really great to see everyone. I'm just going to bring myself back into full camera. Okay. Yeah, so it's really great. Thank you very so much for turning up and joining us for this class. Okay, so we're into the second wave now. We've been through various lockdowns. Lots of people are in different types of lockdown. And one of the things we've been noticing with our clients over the last week or two is the connection between heaven and earth. So what I thought we'd do this week is we're going to really go deep into how we can balance the essence of yin and yang in our energy, because that's the best, most fundamental way that we can kind of keep our spirits up, keep a positive aspect, but also keep grounded in a healthy way. So I thought we'd do that. That would be our theme for today. I'm really looking forward to doing that with you. I could do with it myself. So first of all, let's just check in and just see how our energy is before we start. And I'm going to do a poll in a minute and find out where you're at in terms of energy up and energy down. So the first thing to do is just stand, or if you can't, if you're too weak or you're too pain, if you've got too much pain or something, you can't stand, you can just sit, that's fine. We're just going to stand or sit and just relax. Okay. And I just want to just scan through our energy. I'm just going to scan through our whole body energy and just see whereabouts our energy is. And we're going to look at two main things. Are we, as our energy tending to go up like this? Whoa. Or is our energy kind of tending to go down like this into the earth? Or is it kind of about right, balanced about right? So let's just tune in to that feeling. Just get a sense of whether you feel you're going up or going down. I think for me, I'm just a little bit going up, a little bit too much. Could do with a bit more grounding, but how are you feeling? We're going to run a poll and we'll find out how the group is, and then we're going to work with it with a series of exercises. So is your energy up, down, or about right? And here are the options. Okay, is it very much up, or just a little bit up, or about right, or a little bit too heavy, or very much too heavy? Let's just get an idea of how the group's doing. Okay, now we've got a good distribution there, but we've got a slightly more two up, and well done for those 20% of you who are about balance. That looks pretty good. Okay, so look, there's a lot of work to be done. 80% of us need sorting out above and below. So let's work on it. We're going to do a series of exercises. We're going to do lots of exercises we've done before, but we're going to focus them in a way that's going to maximize our balance between heaven and earth. Okay, so let's start. And don't forget, at 1:45, don't let me forget, everyone, we must go over to Kat's video, Eating Well for the Season. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so just like to stand comfortably. Just going to close the door. There we go. We're just going to stand comfortably, and if you're feeling too up or too down, the first thing we need to do is we need to establish a healthy connection with the earth, because the earth is solid. It's really important that we have that grounding, but we don't want to be sinking down and feeling like a bit of wet mud and feeling too heavy. But what we do need is we need that support from the earth And that support is felt by this feeling of lifting up the body. So to do that, what we'll do is we'll energize our center, we'll open the legs, connect with the earth, and then we'll do some work on the sacrum, because the sacrum is the part of the spine that allows us to feel heavy and grounded, but in a connected way to the feeling of being up. Okay, so let's try that. What we're going to do is we're going to establish our connection with the earth by opening up kidney 1, okay, which is that point right in the middle of the foot. We've done many times before, which is the point right in the foot, the bubbling spring point. We're going to open up the soles of the feet, connect them with the earth. Okay, so now if you're a little bit heady, what you want to do is send your energy down your legs and send it down towards the center of the earth. And if you're feeling a bit kind of heavy and too flat and down, imagine energy coming up from the earth and holding you up, okay? And if you're in the middle, just keep it open and get a nice healthy feeling of your weight going down and a healthy feeling of the earth supporting us, that yin energy supporting us. Okay, so feet open, ankles relaxed, knees relaxed. And now we're going to energize the dantian. So let's clap our hands together. We're going to place our hands onto the dantian. Remember last week we did a lot of work with the breath, so let's just relax our breathing, try and get that connected into our hands. Okay, now if you're feeling a little bit heady and a bit too up, you'll notice that just bringing your breath down into the dantian has that effect of calming everything down and centering it. Okay, so just do a few breaths. Okay. And now we're going to energize the dantian, but this week what we're going to do is we're going to try and beam that energy through into the sacrum, because what we want is the sacrum to anchor us down into the earth. So let's just spend a few moments relaxing our breathing, centering our energy into the dantian. Keep those hips open, relax the knees, and feel a healthy connection with the earth. It's supporting us and allowing us to connect. Okay, so we can get that energy through the dantian and into the sacrum. So I'm imagining the energy going here and warming up and centering the sacrum. Okay, how's it going? Getting there? Just keep it really relaxed, send it right through. Okay, so now keep going. We're going to keep going, sending that energy through into the sacrum, and we're going to relax around the whole sacral area, right around here. We're going to relax it, and we're just going to very, very nice and easily drop that sacrum down by softening the hips. I'm softening the hips here, and even if you're sitting down, you can just soften this area here. Drop the sacrum here, okay? And as you drop the sacrum, we're just going to become aware of the top of the head, and we're going to feel the whole spine. Okay, so we're zapping the energy into the sacrum, relaxing the whole sacrum, and floating that feeling all the way up the spine. Nice, easy breaths. Very good. Very good. So now, keep it going. And we're going to relax the legs and open that feeling up into the earth, all the way down through your feet, right down into the center of the earth. Very good. We'll just keep going for a few more rotations. Keep that breathing relaxed, really centering our energy. We're really relaxing and dropping our sacrum. And we're getting a nice healthy feeling of the earth holding us up and supporting us. Very good. Okay, excellent. So that's a really good start. Just going to shake our legs and arms out. Okay, I'm just going to stand again, check in. Nice, okay, a little bit more centered there. Nice and relaxed legs. I don't know about you, but I could do with a bit more connection down the legs. So why don't we do some doing, really open up those channels, and then we'll go back and check to see how our connection with the earth is, okay? So we've got 3 sets of channels on the legs that do different jobs for keeping our healthy connection with the earth. And probably the first one we want to do is the stomach and the spleen channel, which is these channels on the front of the legs, because they're literally to do with earthing and connection with the earth. So let's clap our hands together. Okay, and we're going to just do a simple circuit of all the yang and yin channels of the legs. And then we're going to check in and see whether that sacral connection with the earth has got a little bit stronger. Okay, so here we go. Just going to keep really relaxed wrists, and we're going to tap down the outside front of the legs. So that's just along the outside front of the legs. You don't need to worry too much about the location. Okay, down outside of the knees. And then up the inside of the legs, up the spleen channel this is, another earth channel. Okay. What we can do is, as we do this, we're going to find out which of the channels, which of the meridians and the channels are the ones that are the most effective for us. So it's kind of like a self-diagnosis thing as well. So let's just go around 3 times, doing some nice dough-in on the stomach and spleen channels. Okay, here we go. Lost count. I think that was 3, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. Okay, so here we go. Down onto the feet and then back up again. We did it 4 times, but who cares? Okay, breathing and brushing off. Okay, check in again. Okay, can you feel those tingling feelings down the channels? Check in with the lower abdomen. Feel the connection with the earth. Okay, now if that's made a really big difference to you, it's probably because you need that earth element working. Okay, so now we go to the liver and gallbladder channels. That's the ones on the side, and that's to do with the energy stagnating, especially in the middle burner. We've seen a lot of that happening in the second lockdown as kind of frustration starts to build. And in this group, we found it a lot, haven't we? The last few weeks, the middle burner has been quite important. So let's give the liver and gallbladder really some good bit of dough-in. So then we're going down the outside of the legs into the buttocks. We're going to go down the outside of the legs. Up the inside. Down the outside. The inside, okay, right on the inside of the legs there, that's the liver channel, and go down the outside again, gallbladder. Okay, one more, down the outside. Very good. Okay, excellent. We're going to brush off down the inside and the outside of the legs. And let's see what effect that's had. Okay, again, tuning in to our Dantian. Whoa, that was a good one for me. So if you feel a really big change in that connection with the earth down the liver and gallbladder channels, it's probably because you're holding a little bit of frustration, maybe some emotional stuff stuck in there. That's blocking maybe the hips. And so that's a really good one for you to do. So remember that during the week. You might want to just keep that in mind in the rest of the week. Liver and gallbladder is your thing. Okay, now if you're feeling a little bit fatigued, tired, and we've had quite a lot of that, again, lower burner stuff, which is to do with the kidneys, to do with the adrenal system, you might find this set of meridians the most effective to getting that healthy feeling of grounding through your legs. So let's check it out and see what happens. Okay, the kidney meridian runs up the inside of the leg. We've done lots of points and things for that over the last few weeks. So you'll probably be familiar with kidney 1 all the way up to kidney 3, up to kidney 10. Remember those ones that go up here? And then the bladder channel runs right down the back of the legs. So that's kind of an easy one to find. All right, so should we try that and see what happens? So we're going to tap as low as we can behind the ankles, around the back of the calves. Up as high as you can go and go round here. And then down the backs of the legs. So down the backs of the legs. So what I'm doing here is I usually turn my hands round so I can tap with the backs of my fists onto the back of the legs, kind of like this. It's difficult to get it this way without twisting your shoulder, isn't it? Okay, so that's how I normally do it, like that, down. And then you can switch round onto the inside again and go up the kidney channel. Kidney 10, up, round, and down the back of the legs. One more. Round and then back down the other side of the legs. Let's make sure we work a little bit around the sacrum as well, just tapping gently around the sacrum just to release any blockages around there. And then down the backs of the legs again. Very good. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to check in again. Place the hands over the dantian. Whoa, actually that was pretty good for me too. So there we are. You have to pick out the ones that give you the biggest effect of the connection between here and the earth to get that healthy connection with the yin. So excellent. We just need to do one more thing, which is our favorite thing, which is just to do some work on the feet, and then we'll have an awesome base here connected to the earth in a really healthy way, and we can work up from there, and we can start working on the upper body. So let's just do a little bit of work on the feet. Okay, you can do this again in the sitting position if you can get your foot high enough. If you're sitting on a chair, or if you can sit down on a mat, it's great. And what we're going to do is we're going to work, let's just remember this point here, kidney 1, remember, 1/3 of the distance down the midline of the foot. Remember that one? The famous bubbling spring point. Oh, well, look at that. That's never happened before. I'm actually shaking the camera as I'm hitting my foot. Did you see that? Just have to move the mat a little bit away from the camera tripod. Let's have a look. That's better. There we go. All right, who else? So it's still happening a little bit. That's maybe if I bring my foot off the ground. That's it. I think I'm shaking the floor. We're in a very old building here, and I think the floorboards are actually loose enough that they're actually rattling the camera. Okay, so here we go. Either that or I'm just working kidney 1 stronger than I've ever done. Okay, now if you remember, it comes up this way and it goes up into kidney 3. I'm going to just tap gently behind the ankle and link it up with kidney 3. I'm going to open my foot up this way. Stretching the foot. Very good. Yes, we've got kidney 1 and kidney 3 around this whole area here. Really good for energizing dantian and the lower back, actually. Really good points for that. Okay, excellent. Let's try the other foot. Okay. There we are. The whole of the sole of the foot, opening up kidney 1. Okay, so with the channel work and all that focusing in we've been doing on the sacrum and everything, by the time we've done this, we should have a really good connection with the earth. Okay. So if you're feeling a little bit heavy, it's not that you want to cut yourself off from the earth. We don't want to cut ourselves off. We just want to reorganize our relationship so we get that feeling of uplift from the earth, that support, that's the healthy yin quality. Okay, so let's just go back to here and see how we're doing. So we're going to stand up again and just check in and see what's happened without all this lovely work on the feet. Whew. Okay, hands on the dantian. Okay, wow, what a great feeling, isn't it? Can you feel that? We've opened up all the channels in the legs. We've got that lovely feeling of vibrancy in the feet. Now, if we think down into the earth, we've got that nice feeling of connection with the earth. And if we bring in the sacrum, just going to just rest, relax our sacrum down, we've got a really awesome feeling of energized lower burner and open legs, nice open bubbling spring point, really good healthy feeling connection with the earth. Okay, so now already those like me, if you're a little bit up here, you're probably already starting to feel a connection. That's the yin balancing out the yang. Now let's work a little bit on the middle and the upper burners, and let's see if we can get the whole thing integrated so we've got a good connection between heaven and earth. So to do that, we've already done the stomach and spleen, liver and gallbladder channels. So really all we need to do is just a bit of twisting here to make sure this is freed up. I'm going to focus it right round into the spine again. We've released the sacrum, so now we're going up a bit higher, and we're going to very gently open up the spine. Again, with the theme of this week, we're going to mainly focus on opening the spine up. So let's float our head up from the top of our head with an imaginary golden thread and see if we can get our spine just to hang down. We're going to really release our sacrum. Okay. Now, if you do that, okay, you'll feel this lovely feeling of connection all the way down into the feet because we've opened up this so well around here. Isn't that a lovely feeling? Okay, so just enjoy that feeling of the spine just being suspended. And then let's really explore the rotation of the spine. We're going to do it very gently at first. We're going to get that spine just moving, breathing into any areas of tension, just letting them go. Keep those feet on the ground, opening up kidney 1, keep connected with the earth, and keep that golden thread floating up the head. Excellent. Okay, now if you'd like to just focus this in the middle part of the body, we're going to work on just releasing the middle part of the spine. That's the lower thoracic area and the upper lumbar around this area here. And that's going to help us connect our sacrum to our base of the cranium, isn't it? Okay. So nice and easy, feel that spine rotating. There you go. There we are. Really nice feeling, okay? Keep that middle burn, that whole middle part of your body as relaxed as you can. Keep that head suspended up. That's really good. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Okay, now let's focus in on that sacrum again. Get that sacrum weighted down. Feel the connection through the earth, through down into the earth, through the legs. Very, very nice. Okay, very good. Okay, we're going to come back to the center again, keeping that connection between heaven and earth. Really enjoy that floating feeling. Now this is all starting to open out. Okay, great. So now we'll just do a little bit of work on the upper burner, and then we'll work on opening up the yang channels, and we'll just try and, again, keep that focus between heaven and earth. Okay, the upper burner is very much connected to heaven's energy, bringing, this is what they call it in Chinese medicine, bringing in the qi from the lungs, the energy from the lungs, from the air comes into the lungs. And you've got the heart here, which again is the upper burner. It's red, blood is red and it pumps, so it's quite a yang thing. So what we want to do here is make sure we get a healthy connection with the yang energy of the air. Okay, we don't want to be giddy and we want it grounded into the earth. Keep those feet relaxed, keep the legs relaxed. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to stretch the lung channel by breathing in. And we're going to focus on the thumbs, breathe out. And stretch backwards like this. So I'm stretching back like this and opening up the lung channel. Very good. Breathing in. And breathing out. Something like that, where you can feel a stretch into the thumbs. Very good. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, how about some doing for the yin channels and the yang channels of the arm? And what we're going to do with that is open up the chest area, and we're going to start to encourage energy moving down from the head this way, down the yang channels. So let's loop around like we did the ones in the legs with the doing. It's nice to do them in a circuit. I'm going to start off here with lung, lung 1. And we're going to go down the lung channel here. And then we're going to go up this one, which is the large intestine channel, up through here. Okay. And we go down this way. Now I'm going down the middle of the arms. And up the middle of the arms. And then I'm going down towards the little finger, the inside of the arm, and then up the outside back of the arm. Okay, so if you imagine it like there's 3 lines that run down, 3 lines that run down here, and 3 lines that run down there, then you've got it. Okay, so let's go around one more time, one more circuit. Down towards the thumb. From the first finger, so now we're on the outside of the arm. And then middle of the arm to here, and then back. Okay. Very good. Okay, excellent. And then brushing off. Whoa, okay, feel that. So now we go to the other side, lung. Large intestine. Heart protector. The heater. Middle of the outside. Heart, and then small intestine. Okay, so basically what happens is all the yin channels, that's these ones, this is the yin channel, yang, goes down this way, and that connects with the lungs. And these yang channels connect up into the head, so it's a good idea to get them energized, just to feel that connection again with the yang part of the body, which is the head. Head is yang and the feet are yin, because the head's at the top and the feet at the bottom. Okay, so heart protector, couple heater, heart, and small intestine. Okay, so it's just really just this way and then this way, so we can just brush off. Okay, so that's some work on the upper heater, so let's check in again. We're going to check in like we did before. Hold the dantian, open up the feet, connect with the earth. Okay, now check this out. See how your spine feels now, particularly in this area here, in the back, the upper and the middle back. We've opened that up really well with the channels. So now what we've got to do is get that head in the right place, and we'll be totally sorted for the week. Okay, so what we want is we want the head to be nicely placed. We want that golden thread from the top of the head floating up, relaxing our jaw. Okay, and now let's feel the connection between the base of the cranium, which is around here, and the sacrum. So we're going to just relax the sacrum down, float the head up, and just feel a natural kind of traction between the sacrum going down and the head floating up. Okay, let's just try that for a moment. Okay, very good. Now you might find that you've got some obstruction in the neck, maybe the jaw, and now it's time to just sort out the yang channels of the head, and we'll be done in time for Cat's Kitchen, which is cooking well for the seasons, how to make miso soup. And I want to show you this book. This is a very, very heavy book. It's a manual of acupuncture. It's written by a friend of mine, or several people that I know, Peter Dedman and Martin, both wrote this book. It took them 7 years to write it. We've got this in this. You've probably seen me. If you come to the Shiatsu Centre for Treatment, you see I often refer to this because it's the book about points. And if you look here, you can see point of the week, which is bladder 1. That's this one here, right here. And you can see slightly frightening eyeball there, but you can see where the point is. It's right on the corner of the inside of the eye, and it's called Bright Eyes, not surprisingly, and it's used for eye strain and for headaches and stuff like that. It's the one that they had in the Anodyne advert, went like that, okay? So that's our point of the week, bladder 1, and it's going to be a long journey all the way down to the feet. It's the longest channel in the body. So let's incorporate bladder 1 into our face routine today. Rub our hands together. And what we're going to do is just place our fingers just here on the inside of the eye, just there, nice and gently. And what we do is we hold that point. You can actually hold it like this as well if you want to do it with one hand. You see that in the headache adverts. But the way we're going to use it is this. We're going to gently, we can do it standing or sitting, just gently hold this point and see if you can feel a connection all the way over the top of your head, down the back of your neck, all the way down your back, and down to your feet. And that sensation you're getting there is the path of the so-called bladder channel, which runs right from here by the eyes all the way down to the feet. And that's an excellent point for tired eyes, headaches, especially on the front of the head and the back of the head. Bladder 1. Bright eyes. And when you open your eyes, you may have the effect of seeing everything just a little bit brighter than it was before. Very good. So now let's just work around the eyes. We work the forehead. Actually, the bladder channel runs up this way. So we're going to catch it working here. Okay. Here we are. Working around the sinuses here. Relaxing our jaw. And pulling the ears. Okay, and washing your face. Oh, very good. Okay, so we've done this forehead one. So if we go over the tapping over the top of the head here, we'll get the bladder channel. And that goes around to the back of the head. Okay, now you remember on the legs, we have the stomach channel, the gallbladder channel, and the bladder channel. They're on the front, the sides, and the back of the legs. Well, down the head too, because they go all the way around like this, down the head. And they're a really good way of connecting us to the earth, all the way from the top of the head down to the earth. And I'll just show you where they are. Basically, the bladder channel's on the back of the head. So if we just go into the back of the head here, you can either use your fingertips. Feel this muscle here. This is the top of the trapezius muscle. We can actually press down here, or you can squeeze it with the heels of your hand like this. You got it? It's right down the back of the neck here. It goes right down onto the back here. Okay, so that's the bladder channel. That's the one that runs down the backs of the legs, all the way down the spine, down to the feet. Really good for opening up the neck. And then if we go around a little bit further to this lovely big indentation here on the base of the cranium, that's where the gallbladder channel runs, and that's the one that runs right down the sides of the body, down the sides of the legs, right down to the feet. So really good idea to keep this as open as you can. It's often one that's involved with headache, especially on the side of the head, eye strain, all kinds of things, especially looking at the computer too much. It's going to affect the liver and gallbladder channel. So this is a really good one to work. We can use it with the heels of the hand, or you can use your fingertips again to press in. It's a little bit harder to get the depth there with the fingertips. With the heels of the hand, you can get really deep into that gallbladder channel. And it runs down here and onto the tops of the shoulders. It's really worth giving the tops of the shoulders a little bit of tapping as well, just to get all that energy moving down. Okay, very good. And you remember the one on the front of the legs, the stomach channel? Well, that runs down from here. The eyes are going, it runs down through the sinuses, through the jaw, and it runs onto the front of the SCM muscle. And it's a good idea to really release the SCM muscle. And I like to get hold of the whole thing like this in my fingertips and squeeze it down like that. And that's all the main yang channels of the neck that go into the legs. And the reason we're doing them especially today is because we want to get that connection between the head and the feet. Okay? Okay, very good. So now let's do some shaking, some more breathing, and let's see if we can see how we're doing. Okay, so what we want to now is we've got a nice healthy connection with the earth. So let's get really into that. Let's keep those feet open, relax the legs, tuck in the sacrum, feel that connection with the earth. And we want a really healthy connection of solidity, but also a feeling of uplift there that's holding us up. Okay, we're going to place our hands on the dantian, relax our shoulders, feel that connection with the earth. Just spend a moment to bring our breath down into the dantian and feel that connection with the earth. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to do a bit of shaking because that's more yang and it releases any tension. So let's do some shaking, starting off with the jaw, relaxing the base of the cranium, nice and gentle shaking. Just shake out any areas of tension that you've got. We're going to work down the body. Okay, so we're going to relax the jaw, neck, upper shoulders. Okay, upper shoulders right into the shoulder joint. Rib cage. Okay, relaxing the hips and the knees and the ankles. Okay, excellent. Let's just check in with heaven and earth again. So now we're going to focus more on the upper body. Okay, so now we need yang energy, we need warmth, we need our thoughts to move about, we need to be able to love and to be able to send out lots of yang stuff, but we don't want to get too much yang. We don't want to get too panicky or too hot. Okay, so if you find yourself getting too hot, kind of panicky and stuff like that, you want to calm that yang energy down. Open up the legs, connect with the sacrum, get that feeling with the earth and chill everything down, okay? And if you get too kind of cold and soggy and heavy, then you want a nice healthy connection with the earth. And we need to have a healthy connection with the yang, which is just a nice floating feeling, an ability to just live and to move, to think, all those upper body yang functions grounded in the yin of the earth. Okay, and that's what we've been doing for the last 45 minutes, working on that. So let's enjoy it, right? Okay, so here we go. Nice healthy connection with the yin into the earth, get that sacrum tucked in. Keep it nice and cool, nice and solid. That's it. Free up the upper body. You want movement, but not too much heat. So let's just cool out the top body, move it about, and then feel that connection with the head and let that float up. Just see if we can now centralize our energy much more than we did in the beginning. And the key to that is the breathing and the dantian. So let's do a few breaths. We've done these before, Tai Chi style breathing. A good dynamic way of connecting with heaven and earth, right? So we're going to sink our energy down into the earth and float our arms up. Okay. We're going to connect with the head top, float up, breathing out. Sink down, connect with the earth, and push up and float up from the top of the head. It's a very internal feeling of connection with the earth and with the heavens. Connect with the earth and connect with the heavens. Connect with the earth and connect with the heavens. Very good. Okay, so now let's just bring our hands together on the dantian just to finish off. Up. And now feel that centralization of our energy in the dantian. Nice, relaxed legs, firmly planted in a healthy way with the earth. Feel the earth's energy holding us up. And then a nice open, free feeling in the upper body. The head nicely placed on the top of the neck, and it's floating up, but not in a giddy kind of panicky way. It's just placed there, nicely suspended, and it's balanced by the weight of the sacrum. So just relaxing the sacrum, connecting it with the base of the cranium. Yeah, so you've got the whole spine really nicely relaxed and open. And there we have it, a healthy connection between heaven and earth. And that's something to take forward, especially the week before Christmas. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's just find out how we did. Okay, remember that we only had 21% of you felt balanced in the beginning. So there was a lot of work to do there. So let's just see if you generally feel more balanced. Do you feel more centralized now? In other words, more balanced? Or about the same? Or has it thrown you off completely? You feel less balanced? Just let us know, and we'll see how we've done as a group this week. Okay, so there we go. Okay, most of you feel more balanced. If you feel about the same, I just encourage you to keep working at it. It does take practice. Maybe if you just repeat the exercises for the rest of the week, you can slowly start to get more centralized. And if you had a reaction, please let us know. Get in touch with us and we can help you. Sometimes what happens is that, especially if you get energy that's blocked up, maybe emotional stuff, it can be triggered and you can get temporary feelings of heat coming up or things like that. It's quite a common thing. Usually that will go quite quickly and you'll feel a lot better. Okay, so now really excited because it's time for Cat's Kitchen, our first Eating Well for the Season feature. And I hope you enjoy this. I'm just going to, it's about 10, 12 minutes long. And she produced the entire video herself, Catherine Westwood, Cat's Kitchen Miso Soup. So let's watch this.
Hello and welcome to my kitchen, Cat's Kitchen, where I'm going to show you how to make a really simple but delicious miso soup. It's really good for the winter and particularly your kidneys. So in Chinese medicine, the kidney and bladder meridian are related to the winter element, and hey, it's certainly winter, so it's going to be really good for you for lunchtime or even breakfast. So how to make a miso soup. It's really, really easy and so good for you. So it helps maintain a healthy digestive system. It's really good for your bones and it's packed full of nutrients. It's also really good to maintain a healthy heart. If you hear any scratching or running around whilst I'm cooking, it's my little house rabbit, Pokey. So excuse the noises. So there's 3 parts to making a good miso soup. First, you'll need a dashi stock. This is dashi stock, which I've soaked overnight. Basically, it's dashi kombu, which is a sea kelp. And dashi stock usually has the dashi kombu, sea kelp, with bonito, or you can get bonito flakes, and that's a fish. So if you wanted to make a veggie or vegan stock, just go for the dashi kombu. If you did want some fish flavours in there and you can't find bonito flakes, I cheat a bit. So once the soup's made, I add a little bit of fish sauce. But that's at the end. The second part to the soup, because it wouldn't be a miso soup without the miso, is the miso. You can get light miso or dark miso. On the whole, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but miso soup's generally made with light miso, but really it doesn't matter. And you can use also miso soup like this, miso paste. And then the third part of miso soup is your veg or the other ingredients that you want to add. And it's completely seasonal. So a miso soup doesn't have specific things in it. So depending on the region in Japan and also the season or your personal preference, it will change what goes in the miso soup. So today I've got broccoli, I've got some swede and carrot as well. And you can chop them small. I chop them small because they cook quicker, but you can also do them a bit bigger, so you can also make shapes kind of like this with the swede. I will also put in later, once they're cooked, some shiitake mushrooms. Now you don't have to use shiitake mushrooms, you can use normal mushrooms, whatever you can get your hands on. And if you wanted to plump it out a bit, if you perhaps don't like mushrooms, you could add a silken tofu, but that also goes in at the end. As far as other flavours go, I always like to add fresh ginger, particularly in the winter. Gives a nice kick to the soup. So, let's get making our miso soup. So to start with, we want to get our stock, dashi stock, whether that's vegan or with the fish, bonito flakes. So on the whole, you want 200 millilitres per person, roughly. So I've made just under 2 pints, so about 1,000 millilitres, because I'm going to make it for about 4 people. So I'm going to plop that in the pan. I'm going to leave the sea kelp in for now. Put that to one side, and I will fish it out later. It helps if you turn the heat on. So that's going to get boiling just like that. So whilst that's getting hot, I'm now going to add the veg in that need boiling. So I'm going to add in my cubed swede, my carrot, and broccoli as well. And I'll leave that, where's my spoon, just here. I'll leave that to just gently cook. It shouldn't take too long, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Now, if you don't have things like swede or carrot or broccoli, or fancy things like some Japanese veg like bamboo root, You can use things that you've got at home, for example, potato, and you can cube the potato. You can add it with carrot or whatever you've got at home. Perhaps you've got some cauliflower that you can add in as well. So it's completely up to you. So whilst that's bubbling away, I'm just going to show you how I cut the carrot, because I find it quite interesting. So my Japanese dance teacher showed me how to cut in this particular way. So you want to get your carrot and you constantly turn it as you cut. So I'm just going to cut and turn the carrot, and that's how you get that interesting shape that you'll usually find in a traditional Japanese miso soup with carrot. So that's how you make that shape. Also, whilst we're waiting, I'm going to get the tofu, silken tofu, and I'm just going to gently cut a few pieces, and then I'm going to cube it like so, and I'm going to turn it on the side and cut it like that. So about this size. Any smaller and it's just going to fall apart in your soup, but we'll just use that at the end. Now I've taken it off the boil. As you can see, the veg are just cooked rather than too mushy, and I've also taken out the sea kelp. So now I'm going to move it to a simmer, so I want a gentle heat, because the next bit we do not want to overheat. So I'm going to add the shiitake mushrooms, and it doesn't matter how much. You can make up what you'd like in your soup. So perhaps you prefer more mushrooms and less veg. I'm also going to put some freshly chopped ginger, but I'm going to keep a little bit for later to add on the top to make it look nice. So put a little ginger in there, and then wouldn't be miso soup without the miso. I'm going to get a tablespoon, so 1 tablespoon of miso for each person. So that's 1 tablespoon for 200 to 250 millilitres of stock. So I've made roughly 4 to 5 portions of about 200 millilitres. So I'm going to put 4 tablespoons in. And because it's quite pasty already, it's going to be easier to mix in. If you've got quite a thick miso, you might want to make a paste with some water in a pot and then add that liquid thick paste to the soup. Great, so that's all added in. I am going to add a little bit of fish sauce, so I'm going to put just a few glugs, kind of like that, maybe 1 for luck. And then I'm going to give it a stir and make sure that the miso's all mixed in. Now the other thing that you can add to, so it doesn't have to be mushroom or vegan or anything like that, you can add things like strips of pork or some shredded chicken or anything like that to the soup. So it's not necessarily just a veggie or vegan soup. If you want a bit more protein and you like meat, you can add those things to the soup. Kind of the same time as adding the mushrooms, and you want the meat to be cooked before you add them. So that's on a gentle heat, simmering away. I think all the miso's stirred in now. There's 1 little bit left. And then before videoing this, I kind of cheated a little bit, but I've made some sticky rice to go in a bowl on the side to go with the miso soup for my lunch. So now it's just been simmering, or just under simmering, very gently for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to turn the heat off so it looks a bit like this, Now I'm going to add, and you don't have to, I'm going to add a bit of the sea kelp back in, mainly because I like munching on it and it's good for your kidneys. So I've chopped it up into kind of like little pieces, and you can put in as much as you like or none at all. And I'm also going to add the cubed silken tofu. They're very gentle, they're very soft, so you want to be gentle with them. So just pop them in and they can float around. Get some flavours of the soup in there. Okay, and now I'm just going to serve up. So you can keep the tofu in for a bit longer to get the full flavours. So I've got the shiitake mushroom, some juice, see if I can get a bit of the carrot as well, like so. And also I'm going to get some rice, which I prepared earlier. So I made some sticky rice. I'm going to get a nice bowl of sticky rice, like that. So we've got our miso soup, sticky rice. I'm going to add a little bit of fresh ginger in there, uncooked. Also, just a note on the rice, if you don't want to buy the fancy Japanese or short-grained Italian rice, there's another cheap that you can get, is the pudding rice, because it's much cheaper in the supermarkets. So I use that. Just to finish off, I've got some green nori sprinkle, so it's another sea vegetable condiment, and I'll get a little spoon and sprinkle that on the top of my rice. And then, just for an extra boost of protein, I've boiled some eggs. So I've got some hard-boiled eggs there, and then I just float that in the soup as well. And there we have it. We have a very delicious miso soup ready for lunch with sticky rice and green tea. Itakimasu!
Wasn't that absolutely incredible? That was produced on her iPhone with the help of her her flatmate, her housemate, Mikey, who filmed it on her iPhone, and she put that together for you. It's a special treat in the middle of our seasonal thing, and we're going to do it each season. We're going to do a Cat's Kitchen cooking for the season. Okay, so she's unfortunately not here. You didn't see the rabbit. Now, maybe next time we can show you Pokey the rabbit. That would be another fantastic feature, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's it. That's Cat's Kitchen. Look forward to seeing you next week for another Wednesday class. It's great. I can see so many familiar names in the chat. I'm glad you really enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun, as you can see here. And let's keep us all going through all the waves with it, keeping healthy the Shiatsu way. We've got so many resources here. It's just so great to share. Really look forward to these Wednesday classes. Really look forward to getting in touch with you all. And yeah, we've got one next week. We're going to take a week off, I think, around between Christmas and New Year. Let me just have a quick look at the program. Yeah, I think we're going to take a week off, but we'll talk about that next week. So yeah, okay, great. See you next week, and take it easy. If you find yourself getting too low, get some more yang. And yeah, if you feel yourself going a little bit crazy, get in contact with the earth. Balancing yin and yang. See you next week.